folks. I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I'm Pete.
And that's our man in the booth, Booth Man.
Our resident supervillain.
Yep. Yes. Fan favorite.
Pete, you got a haircut.
Yeah.
What happened? Did you join the military?
No.
Sweet. Cool.
You made
Yeah.
a lot of promises of backing up on all your Punisher fanship. Like going out there and fighting crime.
Don't shatter my dreams. All right.
Oh, you say you're waiting for the future?
I'm thinking maybe if I get a haircut.
I'm really glad you guys convinced me to come out here and talk about Pete's haircut.
It was
We convinced you?
This is a killer thing,
Yeah,
guys.
Alex had this thing with marshmallows, and we were like, no, haircut.
I could.
We were hungry, and it's energy food.
Well, we have a very exciting show
Oh, man,
for you guys
do we.
today. More exciting than the opening badger, I'll tell you. Very excited about our guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Conroy.
Vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman.
What was that all about?
What? 50 more minutes?
No, I mean, what was...
Oh, that was when people enjoy something, they clap. That's why it's a new thing.
That's the first time this ever happened.
Yeah, I know. I feel like you look so panicked. What's all right?
Thanks so much for coming on the show. This is fun. We're very excited to have you here. So let's talk. How did you end up being the voice of Batman?
I had never done, and look, I'm very ignorant about animation, I should be honest with you. I wasn't raised on comic books and stuff. I went through Juilliard. I'm a classically trained actor. I did a lot of Broadway, a lot of Shakespeare, and I was in LA doing a series. I did a series called Tour of Duty. It was the first Vietnam show, and I was Captain Wallace. And I was in LA doing that, and my agent said, you know, they're doing an animated series at Warner Brothers. Do you want to go up for the voice of Batman? And I said, you mean like the 60s, you know, 70s Sam? No, it's totally different. So I went in and I explained to them I didn't know anything about it. They said, well, look, it's not that show. It's The Dark Knight. It's based on a much more gothic story. His parents were killed when he was a child. He lives in the caves. He lives with bats. He's avenging their death. I said, it's Hamlet. You're telling the story. No one's ever said that before. So I said, well, let me just do a take on it. So I just went in the booth and I just came up with this very husky, dark sounding, dramatic voice. It's really cool. Let's hear more of that. So then I did an alter ego of Bruce Wayne that was a very kind of urbane and sophisticated kind of guy. So in the first couple of years, they let me really play with that, of doing those two different personalities. And then they decided the show should go in a much darker direction, so they took that Bruce Wayne voice down a notch and made him darker too. But so I kind of stumbled into it. I wasn't a voice person. I wasn't an animation person. I was a stage actor.
But you were always Batman.
You found your role. You've been, training for this for years. So it all kind of just stumbled together. It was a happy coincidence. And that was in '92. So when we just did another movie that's going to be coming out in the next few, the premiere is next month, in June. Next June.
Well, a lot of people hold up Mask of the Phantasm as the best Batman of any of the ones that come out, including the live action.
I loved that one, but I really loved Sub-Zero too.
Yes.
Yes. Because the animation in Sub-Zero. I don't know if you remember the opening sequence of you're under the ice, looking up through the ice, and the polar bears are running over the ice. And it's the most beautiful animation. It's such an incredible image that you could really only get through animation. There's some things you only really do with animation. with art.
I've tried to do that shot before. Cold week. We do these weekend projects.
So, having done the voice for so long, is there a point where you get to have input into what's going on? Like, well, no, Batman wouldn't say that.
I really do. I really do. Because I've worked with, well, Bruce Timm has been doing it since the beginning. Paul Dini's no longer involved, but Bruce has been involved since the beginning. And I mean, I have to be honest, and he would admit this too. They do occasionally, they'll go, we're stuck. What would he say? What would he say? He wouldn't say that. That's totally geeky, you know. So, yeah, I do get to. Which is fun.
And what's the idea?
But the real force behind the show, I should say, has been a woman named Andrea Romano. I don't know how many of you have been to it.
Yes.
She's the director of, and she really is amazing. She's been with it from the beginning. She's not paid anywhere near what she deserves. And she's the one who really gets the performances out of people, because when Batman started in '92, it was before the big renaissance of animation in Hollywood. And it was the show that really brought that. I had friends working at Disney who said, you know, fuck you.
We're animating chipmunks.
You raised the bar. You're making us look like assholes. It did. It raised the bar in the whole town. So, and Andrea was part of that. She was part of bringing all these actors in who had never done animation before, and they didn't want people going, you know, gosh, my God, geeky kind of strange voices. They wanted real dramatic readings.
And some of those episodes, though, I mean, I watched them after school when I was growing up. And
oh, how young were you?
My knapsack on
You
the back.
were raised on
Knapsack, huh?
Yep, whirling beanie.
Kid in the 1920s.
Yeah. Which is a dream of yours. Kilo V1, The Laughing Fish, those episodes still, I can imagine them so clearly because they were just
For
so...
Chance to Dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
What goes into making the voice? I mean, I have to imagine it's more than just lowering the register and talking like this.
That was perfect.
Well, it's interesting. Not good.
All day, I was in my room.
He has a cape and cowl.
Well, what does go into making the voice?
It's interesting because the first couple of years, I just used to just kind of just do it just by just crunching down on my vocal cords, and I lost my voice at one point. And they freaked out. They were like, oh my God, we're,
You're Batman.
25 episodes into this thing, we can't replace you now. So I had to go back to some of my vocal training and figure out a way to produce the same sound but with supporting it. So there is a certain amount of technique that does go into it, I have to admit. Just kind of winging it, you can't do it because you'll screw up your voice. So you can't do it over time. Yeah.
How many pebbles do you have to eat? You must have a gizzard.
I chew on it.
We're recording this. That's